guys, it's Jan Boers, it's new video, it's Mine on Friday, and today we're gonna talk about how our society is focused only on results and why it's wrong. Let's talk about it. Alright folks, first of all, thank you for watching my channel, thank you for subscribing and liking my videos. I would be glad that you share it even more because I want to grow, but as I will be talking about, let's do it slowly because of course I know my limits, of course I know that I can improve and deliver you even better content, but I think kind of this is good and this is just going from me, and this is something which I was thinking about for a long time. And this is how are we focused on the results, you know, deliver this now and that now and that now and that now, and if it doesn't work we'll completely change the way how to do it, and we'll completely change the way how to look at it, and we will just, you know, do it differently, and let's do it very differently and then do it very differently next time, you know, and it's not solid. It's not solid. It's like in every relationship we want to maintain, we want to have for a long time, we must be solid, we must be a bit predictable, we must be understandable. It's not about being always different, always the same. That's how relationships, like good relationships, doesn't really work. We need to understand that we must build a road, then we have to, or then we can drive on it. Not we will drive on some road and then we'll just go differently because it just doesn't really work that way, or it didn't work just once because we forgot to, you know, shift. I really see how result focused we are, and only result focused we are. We're not focused on the visions, we are not focused on the philosophies, we are not focused on building a slower steps. We want results now because, you know, if we're not deliver results now, we will be fired, there will be problem, we will not be given bonuses. And we are forgetting on the fundamentals of the quality of the progress, you know, we're forgetting about the progress. We're talking about it, but we will never have real progress when we are just results driven, you know, deliver it now. We're forgot how to learn things. We're only copying actually things, and then we are looking at those visionaries like Elon Musk or Steve Jobs, how he was, and say like, oh, those guys had a vision, or they have vision, and look what they're built. Because they're not just results focused, they're thinking what they want to do and they're working on how to do it, and they're not switching their paths like this, you know, like we see in television world when, you know, related to Eurovision. Lots of television, they have no vision, they don't know what they want to do, they don't understand, or televisions maybe, well, the people who are working there doesn't know it. So they're switching from national selection, their internal, then something in between, just to trying to find a pattern how it's gonna work, but forgetting that each year the Eurovision is a bit different, and that this is not the way, like this is not anywhere near the vision or the progress or whatever, you know, definitely not the solid fundament you need to build to really start to rise somewhere, you know. First you anyway build the fundamentals, and then you're building the structure and then the roof. I see we're starting from the roof because this is the result, this is the last thing, and that's wrong. That's wrong. That's how we will never improve, and that's what we want to do, to improve in the competition. But as well, let's relate it to Eurovision again. If we're not doing steps which we're doing, the Eurovision in Czech Republic will never work out, and it's gonna be like shooting like with blindfold, you know. You're just one it works, once it doesn't work, once it works, that it doesn't really work, and you will never find out why. So you will change, like, we need to do internal selection like this, then we need to do competition like this, but we didn't switch those things. We were rising up, so we'll try one thing, then we said, okay, without the philosophy, without any path. We just said we want to serve a good song at Eurovision, but that's just a result. We were starting to think how to build a roof before we will just even start to having plans for the whole building, you know, the fundaments, those walls, you know what I mean. And without it, we can't be successful long term, or we can't build a brand long term working. And we're on the right path in here, or we were, but I think we still are. You just go, you know, like in some countries, you just see that they're still building the roof, or they want to roof. They're only thinking about how to win Eurovision, not how to make the contest interesting for wider audience, or for wider audience of artists, or wider audience of songwriters, you know, all these people around this bubble. And I know I'm annoying a bit about this team and talking about it all over again, but if we want better Eurovision, maybe even more diverse and more quality wise, or even more important for artists, more reliable, with much higher credit, like something which is not just entertainment itself, but it's taken seriously, like serious competition, like something super huge, because it's already huge. But I think in some countries, in lots of countries, it's still taken only as an entertainment. And it's good. I like entertainment. Entertainment is my job. It's in my veins. I love it. But as well, I believe we can take it even more seriously. And if we're just focused on who won Eurovision in recent years, every song was taken seriously, you know. It was more fun, or it was more dramatic, but all of it wasn't joke, you know. And we still this kind of thinking that Eurovision is a bit joke, and there's a pattern how to do it like this and that, and then we're switch the national selections to be that way because we need that kind of result. But we're forgetting that we are the builders. We are building it in each country separately, and following some patterns will never really work out. Or if you're just building it from the scratch like we did, we don't need to follow the exact way how Swedes were building their own philosophy, which works. And we can see that if you just follow some path and you don't change it dramatically every year, it just works. This formula works, and it will always work, because even we're progressive, we need to, you know, put in some kind of conservatism in it. It's not just result driven. When you just don't have a good result, you know, and you know your philosophy, your path is good, well, that can happen. That's a chance we give. That's mathematics. Not every time you succeed that much, but that doesn't mean you need to change the whole formula. You know, that what kind of Germans do, or Swiss were doing, and I don't think it's right, because it's only result driven. But where is the 100% chance that you're right with this? Well, you're wasting the time, you're wasting whole year, each year, and you can build philosophy, you can build something huge, something which makes sense, something which is, well, it can be result driven, but you never know what the other country will do. So what is more important is the way to the result, not the result itself, because you can't do anything. You decide in March who's gonna be your artist and the song, and maybe even the staging, how it will look, that you're deciding in March without knowing what other countries will do, and you can't even reflect it. So how can you be sure that you will be right with your just result driven focus? No, I don't think it's right. I think we need to, you know, take up slower pace to really think what it's important. If it's just the roof building, or the building the whole house. And when we are building the whole house, we need to start from fundamentals, and we need to have a plan, and we need to stick to the plan, and then we will build the house. If you're just start with the roof, then we will just do the fun. Like, well, that doesn't really work like this. And the live, it's, you know, the Eurovision live is the same. If we're building like the solid fundaments, and then we will have the really good quality walls around it, then we will build a roof, and then everybody would like to copy us as well. Everybody would like to know the formula. Actually, this is how the Eurovision is built. It's built on super solid fundaments. So why is the problem to build solid fundaments for each country's national selections, or the selection process itself, whatever it is, internal or external, just to stick with the plan, what we want, how we want it, how to do it, because then we are reliable partners as well for everybody else, and we're gonna be trusted. Everybody would like to enter our house if they understand our rules, how it works, that we have a nice path to the house. Well, if we have a mess on our garden, we will never build it. We will never build the good house. It will be always a bit unfinished, and no one likes it. No one really likes it. So why aren't we focused on how to attract people by building super solid houses and nice ones? You know, we can decorate it all the time. We can play with it, but we need a house first. So don't start from the roof. Don't be that result driven, because that never really works out. That is just short term deciding, short term vision, but we need solid visions. We need something which will stand out, which will bring this brand to the future, which will influence younger artists or youngsters themselves. We are forgetting that we can be super motivational, that we are responsible for the inspiration, and we can do it, you know. We can do it. It's not a fairy tale, but we need to work hard, and we need to work on visions, because if we don't do it, we're just wasting the time, and then anyway somebody will just go and make it, or we will ruin the whole project, and we don't want it. So don't be just result driven, please. Believe in a long-term work, in a solid work, and don't switch after you just fail once, because that can happen. That's just mathematics. So wish you all best of luck in applying this, and I'm curious what you think, guys. How is it at your work? How is it at your country? Do you believe in my philosophy? I'm curious, so please comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to share it among your friends, because that will help me, and I love motivation as well. And I understand I can't grow super fast, because we see others who were building their brands for a long time, and that's how it really works. But I will be glad to faster up a pace a bit and having more viewers, so I can influence more people. Guys, it's important, so please do it, and I see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.